2, 1.
What's up, YouTube? Stonebraker does stuff, and this is the second time I've tried to start this video. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was just coughing like a madman. I don't know why I have these random cough spells. Nothing swallowed, no bugs, no allergens. I think it's just old age. But other than me coughing and being an old man, today is Tuesday, March 21st, 2024, and we are currently, time-wise, it is 7:41 p.m. Another fantastic day. Pretty hot and muggy day today. I think it got up to like 89. It's cooled down a little bit, and there is a little bit of wind, and I don't recall putting this in fifth gear, but it is what it is. So today, on the Eahora X7, as I mentioned, hey, we just hit 200 miles. Woohoo, let's throw a party. Can we get some balloons, some confetti? Can you do that for me, editor Adam? Balloons, confetti. Hallelujah, it's a party. Hold on, I'm gonna try to raise the roof. I bet this is the first time anybody has tried, first off, to raise the roof in about 20 years and try to do it on an e-bike, okay? So I'm gonna raise the roof. 3, 2, 1. Am I gonna be able to raise the roof? It's kind of windy, let's find out. Oh yeah, I'm raising it. I'm raising the outside roof. Let's do it again, okay? Yeah, party. All right, anyways, enough of that nonsense. I wanted to get a ride in today, just because I don't know when my next video will be. My niece had another softball game last night. She has a game Wednesday, and then unfortunately Thursday I won't have time, and Friday I may not have time to get a ride in, so this will be posted Wednesday. If I edit it tonight, this will probably be lightly edited. I say that a lot. I say that there's going to be a little bit of editing, but then I start editing and it's like, let me put this, let me put that, and the next thing I know, it's like 3 hours worth of editing. So, but with this being a later ride, who knows? Probably will have a little bit lighter editing. Don't hold me to that though. But we're just gonna go on the trail here a little bit. A few things we can talk about, but this wind feels fantastic. So we're gonna take a left, right, Man, it really is windy. It was not windy all day, but now it is. But yeah, a few things to talk about here. But as always, let's go ahead and pass this person, and then so I don't look like a crazy man. So a few things I wanted to talk about here. First off, the Vidin U7, great bike, it's gone. I actually was very surprised because I thought if I was gonna sell it, I thought it would probably take a while. But I posted it on the social media sites I told you about on the last video. And before that video was uploaded and available to all you wonderful people, I had it sold. It was pretty interesting though, because I think you guys, if you've watched some of my videos, you can probably tell, like, just by the accessories I buy, and you know, I like to keep things pretty well taken care of. If there's a noise or something, it drives me crazy. Even if my damn mirrors are like lopsided, or if like one was a little bent, I had to buy a new mirror. So I take really good care of them, and I'm probably too much, probably to a fault, that I'm too honest about things. And if I'm selling something, I want to 100% make sure there's no issues with it. So when the guy came to buy it, he knew a little bit about e-bikes, and he wanted to take it out for a ride, which, okay, no problem. So I said, hey, you can take the bike, I'll take my bike, you want to go for a quick ride? That way, you know, I can follow you if you have any questions or anything like that. So he's like, yeah. So he got on the Vidin, I got on the X7 that I'm on right now. And we just rode maybe a mile in town, and he absolutely loved the bike. He asked me basic questions about the bike. I was able to answer his questions. He didn't try to negotiate me down or anything. He kind of understood, you know, the price I was asking for was fair, considering it was a bike with 135 miles on it and a couple $100 in accessories. So he liked it. I was like, all right, cool. So it's sold. I don't have to worry about that. But then he sends me a message on Facebook, which is where I sold it. And he lived probably like a half hour from me. So he asked me, he says, did you know that that back tire was leaking air? I was like, no, I've ridden the bike quite often and I usually check the PSI and I'm pretty sure it's always at 26 PSI, which is what I keep it at. So I guess when he got home, he heard a hissing noise and the tire stem, the little, where you inflate it, the stem, I guess according to him, was hissing because there was an air leak. So I never noticed this. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't there because when I'm riding, I'm either doing this, talking to nobody and hoping somebody watches, or I've got music in my ear and I'm just listening to music so I can't hear if there was a hiss. But I rode it a lot. I would have noticed if there was a leak. I think I would have. And last 2 times I rode it, I did check the PSI and it was right at 26. So it could have happened maybe earlier in the day when I rode it for my video. It could have happened when me and him went and rode it. You know, we rode together for like the mile. So he was kind of like, did you know about this? And I'm like, completely honest, I'm like, no, I didn't know about it. If I would have known about it, I would have fixed it. It's a super cheap fix. Maybe if you take it to a bike shop, you're probably looking at like 25 bucks. So I told him, I said, well, he told me he was gonna take it to a bike shop on Monday. And I said, okay, well, if it's losing air, if it just needs a new stand or whatever the hell it's called, I can't even think the word right now. That's like 30 bucks at the most. So I said, I will show me a receipt where you take it there and I will cash app you 30 bucks back just because, you know, that's how I am. Even though I could say it's yours now, I don't know when it happened. It's a quick fix, it's your responsibility. So he did send me a receipt today, I guess the place he went to, which is funny. So if you go back and watch some of my videos about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, I got 2 videos where I went to 2 bike shops. One of the videos has almost 600 views, so done pretty good. The other only has like 100 some views and it's about 5 months old. Hudson's Bay Company, if you want to go back and watch that video. So he took it to them. They were closed yesterday, but he sent me a picture today of the receipt where they haven't done anything yet. I guess they're gonna get to it tomorrow, but he did give me a receipt, so I sent him the $30. But I just thought that was kind of funny and interesting because we literally went out and rode it together and absolutely no issues. And then as soon as he gets home, he was, oh, there's a slow air link at the gas. Why can't I think of the word I'm looking for right now? Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. So that was kind of interesting. And then another thing I wanted to talk about, we might as well just let it all out today because I don't really have anything else going on. You guys are just gonna listen to me talk about random crap. So my neighbor, who I don't know his age, but I would probably be pretty confident to say he's probably in his late 70s. He may even be in his early 80s. But he's a pretty active guy, and a few months ago, he kind of saw me buying all these e-bikes, and he says, hey, you know, I have an e-bike. And I'm like, really, you got an e-bike? And he was telling me about it, and just from the way he kind of explained it to me, I was thinking it was more like a gas-powered bicycle that somebody put a motor on, or it was like one of the e-bikes from 10 years ago that, you know, is probably smells like donkey doo-doo and probably works about as good as riding a donkey on this trail would. So he told me about that a few months ago. I didn't really pay attention to it. So last night he was out there and we started talking about his e-bike, and I said, where's that e-bike at? He told me it was in the garage. I said, okay, well, bring it out, let's take a look at it. So he brought it out, and much to my surprise, it was pretty old, but I would say maybe like 3 to 4 years old. It was some off-brand. I can't remember what it was. So he showed me the battery, and the battery definitely confirmed to me that it was old. And I asked him, I said, so what's the problem you've been having? He said, well, I got it, and the damn thing was just too fast for me. And I rode it less than half a mile, and then I couldn't get it to turn back on. I've tried figuring out what was the issue. He says, I have no idea. I'm like, have you tried to power in the battery? He says, yeah, I've had it to a charger for days at a time and it doesn't do anything. So I thought, okay. So it was one of the bikes where the battery slips in slots behind the seat, like the Vitilin bike and like the EUI bike I had earlier in the year. And a lot of times with those bikes, you have to have the key in the position or an exact position. If you don't have it in the correct spot, it's not going to do anything. So I said, let me go ahead and take it to my house. Let me maybe see if one of my chargers, like if I plug in my charger, will it charge? Or let me try to see if yours works. So I took it home. I found out the model of his bike, and it's a $1,000 bike, believe it or not, which to me is like insane. He says he paid like $3,000 for it 4 years ago. I think it's out of stock. I think it went extinct like the damn dinosaurs did. A big asteroid just came and just hit that e-bike and just ended the whole brand. But it had a QR code, so I scanned the QR code. I found out the exact model, the battery, all that, yada, yada, yada. So I charged it, and anybody that has an e-bike, typically when you've got it charged up, there's a light on the big battery part, and when it's red, it means it's charging, or it's dead, or it's, murdered somebody, or it's having a midlife crisis. But when it turns green, usually tells you it's charged. So I let that thing charge for 5 or 6 hours, and the next day, yesterday, I got up and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, this thing is green, so does that mean that, is this bad boy charged? So I went over to his house last night. The e-bike is like the dustiest thing I've ever seen too. Like it, for being 3 to 4 years old, it looks like it was in like the Civil War. Like, could you imagine? It was like Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln was riding down on that e-bike to Gettysburg to give the Gettysburg Address. I'm pretty sure that's how old and dusty it was. But he took it out, and I said, let's try this. So he couldn't figure out how to get the battery out too, because it was a little weird. It was screwed in and had a little pop top thing, but I got it out. We put it back in. We put it back inside the bike. We tried doing all that stuff to it. And I said, let me see the keys. So I put the keys in a little ignition, and I tried moving it a bunch of different ways, different slots, and lo and behold, turned it one spot to the right, held the power button down for maybe 10 seconds. That could have also been an issue. Maybe he was just tapping the power button. I don't think he even knew what the power button was. And that SOB, would you believe it or not, it turned right on. So I was like, hey, look at this, we got power. I showed him on the little switch how to do the pedal assist, and it was totally ancient looking, but everything was there. It was so old that the pedals, like a lot of pedals now are like the ones you can push in. These pedals were like the metal ones that looked like damn Shredder wore as a helmet. Like, let me put a picture. See this, that helmet? Like right here? Yeah, that is basically what those pedals look like. They were like metal and they had sharp edges. Like if I had a watermelon, I could have probably thrown that watermelon at those pedals and made like 1,500 slices of watermelon. They were that dangerous. But either way, we got it started, and I said, hey, let me try to see if I can ride this. Let me make sure the pedal assist works. Let me make sure the motor works. Let me make sure the gears work. I will say it was the most uncomfortable I've ever been on a bike in my life. First off, the tires, he says he never touched them. They were 26-inch tires, 4 inches wide, so they were big tires, just like my other 26-inch bike, same size tires, but they were at 4 PSI. He says they came that way, he never touched it, so they were almost completely flat. And I was like, let me just ride it real quick down the road with these low tires. We'll put air in them, see if that helps it. But it was just so completely uncomfortable. It was one of those where like the handlebars were so far low, and they were so far, they were like right here, so you had to lean over like this. And oh my God, like I don't know if those handlebars were adjustable, but I mean, yeah, I don't know how anybody would want to ride that. I told him, I was like, if you're gonna sell it, you know, I would maybe try to sell it for 200 bucks. And he was kind of amazed by that. He's like, well, he's like, I know I paid several $1,000s for it, but I was just gonna throw the damn thing out. I was like, well, if you're gonna sell it, clean it up a little bit, get new pedals on it. You know, if you want me to test it, I'll test it a little bit and stuff just to make sure it works, because oh my God, swallowed a bug. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm gonna have to start wearing sunglasses, and I'm gonna have to start shutting the hell up. I may have to have subtitles the whole video, because always bugs out here. And yeah, the old dude next door, he's like, how much do I owe you? I'm like, what do you owe me for? All I did is plug in a battery. You don't owe me anything. And he kept trying to give me money. I'm like, no. So we'll see how that goes. I may have one of my videos in the future might be something like riding the world's oldest e-bike, or, you know, this e-bike has been in storage since Abraham Lincoln, just something stupid like that. Who knows? But 0 freaking miles. How crazy is that? And it's just been sitting in his garage, like untouched for, he says 3 years. I think it's longer than that for sure. But that's pretty cool, actually. I got a little bit of a chuckle. As the kids say, I LOL'd at that, actually. So Monday's a holiday. I have Monday off. So there'll probably be this video, which will be posted the 22nd. Probably a video Saturday, and I'm not smart enough in my head to figure out what day that is. Saturday, and then, yeah, I'll probably post a video Monday too, from a ride from Saturday. Okay, so I'll probably ride Friday and Sunday, videos Saturday and Monday. Does that sound good? Okay. But I do have next Wednesday off as well. And I think what I'm gonna do, if I can figure out a way, I would like to take, besides this bike, really, I don't really have any need for this one. And maybe I don't even need the Ingwe, really. What I really want to do is I want to take the mock wheel, and I want to get those brakes fixed. That's part of the reason I have not been on it so much the last couple weeks, is just because those brakes are just so squeaky, and they're real spongy, and they're real loose. And I can guarantee it's a simple fix. But I want to take it to one of the, I'll probably take it to the bike shop that I took my other bikes to, the one I've not talked about. And I'd like to take it to them and maybe schedule something ahead of time. Problem is, and I'm going to try my damnedest, is I cannot fit my 26-inch tire bikes into my Jeep Cherokee without taking off the front tire. Now, I could take off the front tire and I could get it there, but if you followed any of my content the last several months, I am terrible when it comes to lining up the front tire on these e-bikes. Like, it gives me a conniption. I don't even know what conniption means. I'm damn near 40 years old, but I can guarantee it gives me a conniption. So then I'm trying to figure out how to line up the tire again, and just no fun. So I'm gonna see if there's some type of magic way that I did not see that I can get the tires to fit in without having to take the front tire off. I can fit it in barely without my front tire, but I'm gonna mess with that. If I can't, I might see if I can borrow a buddy's truck, or I've got a buddy that, and I swear to God, I'm trying to get him to start a YouTube channel. He's got a barbecue, I don't want to call it a food truck because it's not a food truck, it's a trailer. But he's a hell of a man, it's windy. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys are gonna hear this or not, wow. But he's been pretty busy, especially with the weather and this time of year. His barbecue business he's going out to all these little parties and all these little events and stuff, but maybe if he's not going anywhere Wednesday, maybe we can see if he wants to go. We can take his truck, and if I can get a truck, I might as well just take both 26-inch bikes and just say, hey, can you look at the brakes on the mock wheel, and can you just look at the Ingwe and, you know, do your little magic touch just like that and check it out, and, you know, maybe it's time for a tune-up. I know that sounds crazy talking about an e-bike being a tune-up, but by golly, it's the truth. And, you know, before we go ahead and call this video completed, let's go ahead and go through here real quick. We'll extend the ride just a bit. It's at 8:04, so gives me just enough time tonight to edit this. I don't want to be sitting at a computer till 11 o'clock at night, so we'll see how far I take this editing practice this evening. But this bike is so good at hills. It's so strong, it's so smooth, and you put it in gear 7 or gear 8 and there's just hardly any ghost pedaling. It's a joy to ride this bike. I'm really sucking up to these e-bike companies, aren't I? Yeah, it is a joy. All right, guys, but it has been a joy sharing my ride with you. This is the guy's house I was telling you about that has the e-bike and a big garage. He's a cool dude, but it's been a joy sharing this wonderful ride with you. I hope you like my nonsense. As always, thank you guys for spending your time helping me waste my time. I'm back with another video, and I'll see you in the next one.